going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Second Opinion Podcast, episode 163. My name is Celeb, and today I am here to talk about a couple of things of news. Now, I know the last episode of the podcast, we talked about more or less the updates coming to Second Opinion's podcasting format and Second Opinion Productions as a whole, but first and foremost, I want to start out with what have I been drinking and what have I been gaming. I haven't been drinking anything in the last couple of days. Gaming-wise, I haven't really had much gaming going on outside of some mobile gaming. Now, I downloaded this Google Play emulator on my PC, so I've been playing Fallout Shelter on my PC recently, and I've also been playing Lara Croft Go on my smartphone. And another thing, surprisingly, that I did not expect to be as good as it is, I've been playing Star Wars Uprising. I haven't been able to get into it as much as I would like to, but I definitely think it's something that you guys should totally check out. We're not going to talk about video games coming soon this week. We are going to go ahead and get right down into the topics at hand. Star Wars Battlefront Beta will be open to all. EA has announced that anyone who wants to participate in the Star Wars Battlefront Beta will be able to participate in the upcoming test phase on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. Now, this will include a offline mode and also the split screen mode, co-op mode, whatever. It will have the offline, online, split screen, and co-op mode. You'll be able to do the Walker Assault mode on Hoth. And the drop zone as well. So I'm really excited about this. I don't know about anyone else, but I think it's going to be pretty awesome. And for those of you that don't know, whenever this launches in October, I don't know if they have an exact date of when it will launch, but there will actually be a Battlefront companion app that will launch with this as well. So I'm pretty excited. I don't know how much of the hero mode we'll see in the beta whenever it launches, but some of the heroes that you should be able to play with in the beta, from what I think I've heard, will be Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker. So are you guys excited and ready for the Battlefront beta? I hope so, because I am, and I'm definitely going to get my hands on it whenever it first comes out. But it's really awesome that they plan on actually bringing this out to everyone and having a full open test instead of just a closed beta. Now, next, I do want to talk about some sad news for Nintendo fans. Star Wars, I'm sorry about that. Star Fox Zero has been delayed until 2016. They've made a big decision this past week, and this is a quote from them. "We have been developing Star Fox Zero for the Wii U with the aim of releasing it this year. Although we felt that the development had been progressing well, we believe now that we will need a little bit more time to work on it in certain areas." So they've decided to push it off until, I think, Q1 of this coming up year. So it's not too much of a push off, but people need to realize it was originally planned to release November 20th of this year, and I know there was a lot of people that were really upset about the pushback, but you guys need to realize it's a good thing that it was pushed back. There's too many studios out there nowadays that have actually been announcing release dates way ahead of time of what they should, launching games that are not finished, and I think it's started to become too much of a trend in the games industry of actually having games release way before they should, and afterwards having to do, patch downloads and all this other stuff to fix a game that is broken, that should have never been released like that. If we're having to pay a total of, in Texas, we have to pay $64.94 for just a normal copy, and I know there's other places out there that have to pay more than that, but if we're having to pay a full retail price, we should not have to pay a full retail price for something that is launching that they know is actually broken and they're going to have to patch later on. There's a lot of studios out there, and development studios, that do know that these games are not fully complete, but they know it's complete enough to launch the title, and they have to think about, there's a lot of people on their board members that were promised an original release date, and if you go back and say, hey, we're going to have to push this back, then investors will get all upset and so on and so forth. But sometimes that happens, and I think it's for the best whenever a game gets delayed. I would much rather a game get delayed countless times than it launch and it not be ready. Now, the one game I actually will say, and this is just my opinion, that did get pushed back like twice and still launched, and I think that it was, I think it launched as an actual working product, but I think it was dumbed down from its original aspect. That was Watch Dogs. When that game was originally shown off, the first time it was shown off at E3, it was mind-boggling. I was really excited about it. The graphics looked amazing. The gameplay looked amazing. But whenever it was shown off a couple months later, it was a completely different style of look of graphics and gameplay. I think a lot of the core elements of the game were still there, but it was a definite dumb down of graphics. And to have a game pushed back that much and it still launch and it have the problems that it had, a couple of bugs in the game, I feel that the game was definitely not what we were originally told it was going to be. It's just upsetting whenever something like that happens. So, anyways, with that being said, I apologize to Nintendo fans, but you're going to have to wait until next year. Now, another thing, Konami has announced that new DLC is coming to Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. This will actually be costumes for your characters. This will be costumes for, I think, for the online mode. You'll have gear from Metal Gear Solid 3, like the jungle gear, old school sneaking suit, tuxedo. There's going to be actual content for online usage as well. Female soldiers in-game will also be able to wear Eva's uniform and the boss's uniform. D-Horse will have new uniforms, all kinds of DLC like this. There's no price set or release date set as of yet, but they did show it off at TGS. And it looks pretty cool. I'm pretty excited. But this is actually has to do with Konami as well. Something that I think is definitely going to hurt them as a company. And if anything, it pretty much just kind of signed the deal of showing you that Konami was 100% honest whenever they said that they were going to get into the mobile market. It has been reported by Gameblog and Eurogamer that Konami is pulling the plug on their AAA title development, and the only game that they will actually develop that is a AAA title is the Pro Evolution Soccer series. Now, this means that their earlier statements that they would still produce Metal Gear Solid games without Hideo Kojima is not true. And I'm guessing that now there is no official statement from Konami on this. This is actually just at this point, it's just rumored reports by Gameblog and Eurogamer, but they're saying they're getting it from very good sources, and I'm guessing we will never see a AAA Metal Gear or a AAA Silent Hill game again. So at this point in time, there's been tons and tons of people in the industry that have actually reached out to Konami. Different sites that have reached out to Konami trying to figure out if this is an actual statement, if this is true, if this is an actual announcement that's going to be happening. But this is something that they did talk about previously, that they wanted to start focusing on the mobile titles and the mobile platform of video games. And I really think that it's a horrible decision. I think it's a really, really stupid decision for them, especially right now. There's a lot of hate going towards Konami for a lot of things. There's been some PC gamers out there that were actually looking into the files of Metal Gear, and it come to find out there's Metal Gear is actually an unfinished game. There's different parts of Metal Gear that are missing. There was supposedly supposed to be a Chapter 3 and some cutscenes that were cut from the game that were actually supposed to, I guess, wrap up the end of the game. And I didn't really look into it too much because I didn't want to spoil the game for me because I haven't been able to play it a lot. But there's a lot of people that love the ending of Metal Gear Solid 5. Then there's other people that think it is not finished at all. They're pretty upset about it, so on and so forth. So this is a really crazy thing. Konami in just the past couple of years has really just went down the tubes. I don't know exactly what they're doing or what they're planning to do. Maybe they're just realizing that the mobile market in Japan is huge, and just Asia in general is gigantic. It can make them tons of money. But I don't know, man. I would like to still see Metal Gear titles. I really loved Metal Gear Rising. I thought it was an awesome game. And I would love to see more titles like that. And as much as I would love to see Hideo Kojima as part of that, if he's not, I would still actually buy a Metal Gear title if it were to launch on the AAA platform. I just don't. I guess we'll never ever see another AAA game outside of a soccer game from Konami. But at this point in time, this is just rumors. There's no official word from Konami on this. But that is it for this episode of the Second Opinion Podcast. News update. Thank you guys so much for all your love and support. Make sure to check us out at secondopinionpod.com, and also check out the main podcast, which will be posted on Wednesday. It will be a full 30 to 40 minute podcast that will actually talk about a more broad topic. We'll have Jen, Skelly, and hopefully Toaster back on the show as well. As I said in the last episode, just to let you guys know, we'll be posting podcasts on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Actually, I'm sorry about that. We'll be posting podcasts on Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So I'm really excited about our new format, and I hope you guys are too. I think this will actually help me and help you guys as well, kind of grow a little bit more of a rapport and get the Second Opinion family back together and kind of more or less connect with you guys a lot more and talk about, give me a broader platform to talk about some of the news that we're really not able to talk about on the main show. So I hope you guys like this episode. If you do, make sure to follow us on Spreaker, follow us on Spreaker, follow us on Stitcher, and make sure to check us out at secondopinionpod.com. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Peace out.